Can we cut that down to like a 15-second?
I was like, what am I in trouble for? What did I do?
Literally 30 gosh damn seconds I gotta sit here for what?
Allison, that's how long it feels like. I'm sorry. That's how long it feels like you take to do your millennial pause at the start of every episode. Like that's how long I
Yeah.
feel like I'm waiting for you to say,
So is that your so you're
"Hello,
doing your
everybody."
hi, I'm Allison. Welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Survivor 45, episode 5 recaps. With me is Tyler and Beth.
Hey.
And yeah, much more interesting episode than last week. No one quit.
I know. I was about to say, great job, Brando, for not quitting. The bar has been on the floor, but now it's like 1 foot up, right? Question mark.
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, we had
Yeah.
some stories tonight. We had, Jake talking about some stuff. We had Dee talking about some stuff, and listening to them talk about their stories, it kind of pisses me off that we got other people quitting. When you've got people passing out not once but twice, almost dying, convulsing on the beach, and then you're coming from another country, splitting a piece of bread with 10 people, and you want to go home because you just realized you're in love with your husband and you want to go home because this just ain't your thing? Good God. Okay.
I have to say, no. I honestly feel like Hannah's quit was way better than Sean's.
Beth, I'm so glad you're here so we can like rehash this again, because I'm pissed about it all again. Like, for real. And like, good for Julie at the beginning of this episode for basically being like, yeah, Sean blew up our games on the way out of quitting. Like, Sean sucks. And I'm like, yeah, he sucks.
This, quite frankly, this is what it just felt like professionally for me in the past couple of weeks. We had someone who came in, blew shit up as he left for no reason. That's what my vice president did.
See, Beth, if you were in tribal, that's when you could have been like, Jeff, it's kind of like in my professional
real
career.
life.
Yeah, exactly. That could have been your science.
Okay, this is going in my audition. Which I'm not auditioning for Survivor. But if for some reason I said this on the B&B too, if some reason Survivor, like Jeff Probst reaches out to me and says, Beth, we cannot film Survivor 47 without you.
Yeah.
I will be there, Jeff Probst. But I want you to know there's a very good chance that I would be making up shit like that and just being like, well, Jeff, in fundraising, we're at the point in the pitch of a solicitation. We have a 9-stage thing. We've moved from oh my God, identification to addition. And like, it's just like, I moved from cultivation to stewardship here. Like, I'm moving from this place to the other place. And then he's just gonna be like, that has nothing to do with what I just asked. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I got a bitch again, but let's start
Do it.
Saying hi to everyone in the chat first. Thank God you guys are here. You make it worth it. You are the light of my lives. I look forward to seeing you people every week. And I'm not bullshitting. I actually mean that. I really do.
You said that with so much love.
Well, I got a bitch.
You guys are the light of my lives. I really look forward to seeing you every week.
Like, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I have to give my thanks.
I'm sorry.
Joseph, Kylan, Thomas, Samuel, Heather Jean, Matt, Linda. Let's see who else is in here. Did I miss anybody?
I think that's it for all.
You guys are awesome, and I'm listen. I'm pissed because I'm so done with Jeff. Like, I can't take it anymore. Why the fuck, excuse me, God, is he pointing out shit in the tribal? And I know we're not there yet, but if I don't say it now, why's he got to point out Emily's in the middle? Gee, Emily. You're like the swing vote. It all comes down to you tonight. Jeff, thanks. Can we move on, please?
Oh, I want you all to know I'm there to make good TV. If he ever were to do that to me, I'd be like, what? What do you mean, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff, what the
I would just
fuck
make
is
it
your
awkward by
problem?
making it like very sexual. I'd be like, "Yeah, I love being in the middle," and then just see what Jeff does with
Jeff, what
that.
kind of sandwich do you like to make?
Ooh.
A couple of hot dogs on either side. Nice little rolls.
We did see pretty big sandwiches tonight.
Those sandwiches looked small. I'm sorry. For
They
what
looked
they were,
good.
That was a loaded sandwich.
it was loaded. But if I am starving and have not eaten, and I'm sure that would be like, oh,
Yeah.
No, that was not big enough. I
Y'all-
need a foot-long sandwich.
I let 4 turkey farts go just looking at those turkey sandwiches, and you all know what I'm talking about.
I already want to go to bed because I looked at turkey.
Listen, Subway makes me fart. Whenever
Eat
I eat a
fresh.
sub or something, a turkey sandwich, I get the gas. Look, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked I'm talking about this.
I'm not.
So I'm
this
like,
is-
man, I have to fart all of a sudden. Look at these sandwiches. This is amazing.
My weekly fart down here.
Good
is
TV. Anytime I'm inspired to just hike my leg up and scare the shit out of my kitten and watch him jump, just makes my night.
Can you film that sometime? I desperately need to see Joseph being like, ah! That'd be so funny.
Joseph weighs 2.2 pounds now.
You can get vaccines.
He got his first round today, and they gave him some Cheese Whiz on a popsicle stick to distract him, and he took that shot like a champ. However, the temperature taking did not go too well.
Have you ever had to take your cat's temperature before?
I'm going to be honest with you, no, but I'm
traumatized from the time I had to do that with a kitten that I had. That was 3 weeks with me at that point. And I was like, I'm like anally assaulting this cat, and I feel so bad.
It's like raping him because the thermometer. He's a tiny cat. This is a big thermometer, and
it's awful. Like awful. Oh,
yes,
it was the worst.
So,
I'm sitting there with like Vaseline trying to be like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Anyway, Survivor.
So here's the thing. You know how like I usually run a tight ship here and I'm all about the strategy and breaking down the segments and blah, 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 blah. Well, I have so much work going on right now that I texted Beth in our super secret group chat and I said, listen, I'm not writing down notes tonight.
You admit it.
I just want to have a fun show with the 3 of you guys and just
he did say this.
Lightly chat about Survivor, but not get too
in the weeds.
Yes, exactly. So we're just gonna have a fun time here, and I wanted to start with asking. I did write this down for a note because, well, that's a good segue, Allison, because I wanted to ask you.
Kendra was my soul animal tonight.
That I wanted to ask you about the worm eating segment.
All of a sudden, I was like, I now understand the winner pick here.
What'd you think of that, Allison?
What of Kendra?
Yeah,
dude. Yes. Let me tell you something. You know what gets me is people that walk around and act like they don't burp and they don't fart and they don't get weird and goofy. And, when they're hungry or extremely tired, you just let it go sometimes. And that's how it is. I was so deliriously tired the other day. I was in the car with my husband, just giggling to myself, rocking back and forth. And he's like, it's another day that ends in Y around here.
Did you have a little bit of a...
Did I get fingered? What are we talking about?
Well, you mentioned just being like, and I thought it was funny that both Tyler and I decided to vape.
Oh no! I'm just 46 and probably on a sugar. Who knows? But I loved Kendra because she was herself, and I get it. Like I can't remember who said. I bet Kendra 7 days a week is a lot, and I'm like, Allison, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day is a lot, and I'm like, I dig it. I dig it.
Allison, I'm in the same boat.
When people are saying her name, I'm like, same girl. Get them.
That is, I'm in the same boat. There's a reason why I live alone. It's purely to protect other people from having to be around Beth Dixon 24/7.
We need.
I'm in love.
We should interview my husband sometime
That could be interesting.
because
I was going to say something and I held my mouth or tongue.
thank God my cats can't talk.
We know too much. Me and Beth know too much.
Never mind.
Yeah, but no, I was just like, I was wondering, like, did Kendra like puke up the worm because like she just swallowed it whole and it was like doing creepy crawly things like back up, or
it came up? So I don't think it actually went down. I think it like kind of got stuck.
But I'm saying like while it gets stuck there, like, do you think it could have gone down if like the worm, like, I feel like the move is to like take like a bite or two of the worm to like kill it before you eat it, right?
Well, that's the
like,
thing about worms though, is that they don't, it's hard to, you have to like kill the entire worm because worms, like, you cut them and then they like continue on as two different worms.
Yes, but like a worm isn't that big. You can just like cut it in half with like.
I'm just saying, right? At that point, chop, 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 chop. Cut it a few times.
Yeah.
Throw her in.
So what happens if you throw a worm on a skillet? Like, you cook it a little bit. Like,
yeah, why was that a big deal?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I wonder if she puked it up because it was like squirming around in there for its dear life.
I had a hard time with this because we all know there's a hair story that took place when I was in high school in 1994 when I was 17, and I still have yet to make it completely through telling you guys this story about the infamous hair that was in my throat and had been halfway digested, and I had to pull it out. That's a story.
Are you telling us the story?
I'm not telling you the story. I'm actually trying not to puke. Because I can't even. My husband, he's hurt. He's like, oh my God, you're being so dramatic. I'm like, you don't understand. This changed the trajectory of my life with hair. And it was
That's your origin story?
Yes, the origin story of how I really became weird happened in the Bartlett High School cafeteria January day in 1990.
It would have been really fun if you were like January 16th, 12:52 p.m.
I can remember the month is a miracle.
That is like incredible. I do remember
like a dramatic reenactment of that day, Allison.
I'm not reenacting it, but it's a horror story. Like if we did a Halloween show, it'd have to be dark. I'd have to have a flashlight under my face. You can ask it takes me 20 minutes to make it through this story because my eyes water and I try not to vomit.
I have stories like that too.
That was a gag.
I have stories like that too from my past that I don't tell again because I gag. But I also have a story that I feel like could be a part of my character arc if I were on Survivor, and it also relates to what we are talking about with being weird. When I was in second grade, I tried really hard.
I wonder if there's some like motivational music. I'm sorry.
Oh yes. Hold on.
Actually, we can put some music on. Okay.
When this sounds like I'm about to get high.
Get high.
This is when I was in second grade. I tried really hard because I was one of the few kids that wasn't from this town, and they had all grown up together and been in the same class. The beat hitting, and I felt like I was too weird. And I calmed myself and quieted myself down. And my teacher said, Beth, why are you so quiet and different? And I said, I'm trying really hard not to be weird. And she said,
make that face.
Bitch, you'll always be a weirdo. Cut it out. And I said, okay.
She called you a bitch?
No. No, I do remember that. Her name was Mrs. Matachic. Hey, she's just like a wonderful lady. And she literally she noticed that I was like really had a different energy, that I wasn't engaging the same way, and had been like that for a few days. And she was like, "What happened?" And I was like, I think I'm too weird, and I talk too much, and I'm too loud, and I don't want to be those things." And she was like, "Well, those things in moderation, obviously fine, but like I think that what you're saying is like you want to change who you are." And I was like, "Well, yeah." And I was like 7, and she was like, "I don't think you need to." And I'll never forget that conversation. It was like the
Aw.
first time I had like self-doubt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like 7, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I need to change." And I'll never forget that. And look at now, I'm a big fucking idiot on a podcast.
But you're
Thanks,
still
Mrs.
talking about all
Natasha.
those years later. Like, I think that that's cool. Like,
Isn't that
future
cool?
self,
But
right?
that's what I mean. Like, I mean, like genuinely, that is for me like a actual visceral memory that like I can physically feel what I felt like when I was that age and like
Yeah.
experience it again. Like, I think that's so powerful.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Allison.
we have someone new in the
Uh,
chat. Tracy says, "What? Welcome." I just want to say hi real quick.
Welcome,
Yes,
Tracy.
yes, yeah. I apologize in advance, Tracy. We're
Yeah,
off the
sorry.
Richter already. It's fine. Go ahead. Yes,
listen,
Tyler.
I set the scene for tonight here. How how did you feel when Emily was like sitting there while Drew and Brando were talking about Pokemon Go?
Oh,
I
that's
was
when
like,
I went and
this
took
is
my
so
pee break.
Allison, this is so like this. Honestly, that is the
I think
truth of
that's the
what
part you were
Beth
talking
and
about.
I's like super secret side chat is. It's just like nerdy shit that we know like
Yeah.
you do
Super
not
secret
care
side
about.
chat is us playing our Pokemon Nuzlocke, which has almost lasted a year, and we're like maybe halfway through the game.
The super secret
Listen, I
side
don't
chat
even
is
been,
called
been
the super secret side chat that Allison is not allowed in, but we will talk about Allison in the
Oh,
super
you're
secret.
allowed in.
No, I'm
We're just
joking.
trying to spare you
I know,
of
but
Yeah, it's fun. So
being
for those
Emily in that
No.
situation.
for people like Tracy who might just be joining us, the 3 of us have our group chat that where we just check in and we with our lives and just say silly shit or whatever. Allison has been convinced for years that Tyler and I have our own secret side chat where we just talk about Allison. And it was exacerbated by the fact that I then moved to New York City, which is also where Tyler is, and we actually get together.
The super chat was so successful that you moved to
now
be
in
closer
person.
to me.
It was a recruitment effort. This is a
Yeah.
cult. I'm so
Now
sorry,
in person.
Tracy.
And I get it. You know what? I was gonna say, I forgot what I was gonna say. What were we talking about?
Pokemon.
Oh yeah. So you guys have to understand. Like, I'm 46. How old are you, Tyler? 29.
31.
Okay. Beth.
I was 27 when I first started my weekly meltdown. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, I was 38. And Beth, how old are you now? And how
I'm
old were you?
35. I was 35 when I start. Or nope, I'm 35 now. I was 30 when I started my weekly meltdown. No, that's not true. That's a lie and a half. I was 31. I was 31.
I think I was probably 26 or 25 actually. Like I think it's been even longer than that.
Okay, so listen, here's the thing. My son is 27 now, and I spent many car rides with this kid in the back seat rambling on about Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He had, and he still has, these binders where he puts the cards in them perfectly and he has them organized and he can pull it out and go, this. It's like his thing. He has Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He has Pokemon cards. This kid's been to Vegas more times than I have. And the prostitution that's legal, they gave my son cards. He has organized prostitution hooker cards. I mean,
but like,
so
like
I've heard it all, and I know how to tune out and act interested. I'm a mother.
Okay, but like, do you have access to that binder of Pokemon cards?
I need to see this binder. Allison, Jacob.
You could legit have a like over $100,000 card in there. Like I'm not even joking.
Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Pokemon.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, some of those vintage ones are really old, but the Pokemon cards.
If he has a holographic Charizard,
Well, it depends on okay, there's a
I don't
lot
know
of
what the
factors into that one.
Yeah.
It
that
has to be
is.
a shadowless first edition Charizard holo with like no marks on it.
Look,
You know.
Yeah.
I gave him, like, I had, when I moved 3 years ago and I put all of his stuff in some bins, I gave him one bin and I gave him some stuff out of another bin. So it might have been in the one I gave. I don't know. I'll have to look.
What you need to do
Oh, shit.
is locate these binders and send me
FaceTime
photos.
us.
Yes.
Send you pictures? Because I don't know what the hell
No,
this stuff is.
do a video call with us so we can.
I want you to know how
We
this
can appraise you.
is my collection hobby. Like
Okay.
this has
No,
been
like,
a problem.
But like, yes, it has been a problem for Beth. But what I'm trying to say is, this is serious, Allison. Like, there could be some serious money here.
There could be some incredible money in that.
Well,
like
listen,
life-changing money.
Jacob, my son, sorry, it says, fuck, I'm supposed to call him Spider-Man. Spider-Man used to go to tournaments in that's what he did with his little friends on Saturdays. I would drop my son off at the comic book store on Saturday. And I mean, literally 11 o'clock in the morning, give him money. There was there's places they could walk to eat, and pick him up at 7:30 that night. And he would be playing tournaments, games, trading comic books. That's what he and his little friends did. And I guess it was Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that.
It probably was Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic. I would assume those are the big three.
Magic. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But the point of the story, I would pick this child up. Oh, Mom, look at this. And I'm just like, I don't know.
I want you to know that a few years ago,
It could be code for drugs, and I wouldn't know.
when I started collecting again, my friend's son, who was 10, and I used to have FaceTime calls to go over the cards. He used to be like, Beth, I got some more packs. And I was like, Drew, you gotta FaceTime me. And so I'm sitting there FaceTiming a 10-year-old to go over which cards he got, because I was the only adult that like he could geek out with.
I love that though. I think that's so cute and so cool. Yeah.
I love that. Like, I really Jacob is a very articulate, he's very artistic. It stimulated his brain. It gave him, it really, I think
you need strategy for those games. You need math and a whole bunch.
You're smart. And I kind of want to just throw this out there. If you're into any of this kind of crap, going to comic book stores, there's nothing wrong with you. And you don't need me to tell you that. You don't feel weird. If anybody wants to say something about it, fuck them. Live your life. Do what you want. If you want to hang out at dude, I used to hang out at the library on Saturday afternoons and look up old magazines and shit. 'Cause we didn't have Google, and I went to people.com, and I wanted to look up old magazines and stuff. Like, I was really into old People magazines, Life magazine, all of this old stuff. I was so into it. And my mom would drop me off at the library, and that's what I did. And I was a nerd, and I was a geek, and so what? I was happy.
But you knew all the celebrity tea.
Dude, I still know all the celebrity tea. And by the way,
I was just gonna say yes. Okay, I know this is a Survivor podcast, but this is basically turning into a BS breakdown.
Like, this has been Allison's like whole week. So,
but you all need to hear the gold that Tyler and I have been getting.
Listen to this. I'm
shifted
reading
into BS breakdown background.
Britney Spears, The Woman in Me memoir. I downloaded it. Yeah, I'm in chapter 1. Wow.
Give us the tea. Give us the.
Well, there's not a whole lot yet. Now, there are some excerpts. There's common things that people already know. Like, she had a lot of rough sex with Colin Farrell, which I
would too.
I fantasized about myself. It just validates it and makes him even hotter.
Colin Farrell.
Oh my God, I gotta go watch some Colin Farrell later. But anyway, because husband's out of town. Anyway, so he rubs it. Justin Timberlake, douchebag. But I knew he was a douchebag. I'm sorry. I've never been a Justin Timberlake big fan. I don't give a shit. Apparently, he's got a small tingling. compared to Brittany. I mean, no, well, Brittany's got a big right in this book, but I mean, here's the thing. The Southern, she's immediately jumps into, she's from Louisiana. If you were born in the South and you were raised in the South, a woman, man, it doesn't matter, male, female. There are things that she starts out with that are very relatable, about how old school the grandparents were and stuff like that. And it really kind of leads you into how her life became the way it is and why her parents. So it's not just a bunch of, look, first of all, I made fun of Brittany years ago, and I'm sorry.
Oh, we all did. I didn't know any better.
I hadn't had my nervous breakdown yet, and I hadn't been done my stint in the hospital. But since then,
but it was a truly different time, Allison, and I don't want people to forget that while they're having all this Britney Spears discourse and saying well, you said this back in 2007 about them. Y'all have to understand, it was a different time.
Time was very different back then.
This was
I don't think people understand what the media was really like then.
Yeah, exactly.
In
the
how
impact of words online.
Well, and I also think I think social media has actually helped in terms of social revolutions. Social media has actually been incredibly helpful for that, because it allows people to see other people that they know be more intimate with their feelings and say, no, this is a shared thing. And then they go, oh, so this thing that I've been thinking was just something made up by the media, there's somebody I know and I love who has that. And we see all the negative aspects of that all the time. But I think that what we forget is that before there was accountability, because everyday people were able to connect with each other online, we only got to see people online who were famous. And we only got narratives that were going to be shared in that way. It wasn't for me, People magazine was huge. Every time I was able to get a new edition of People magazine in high school.
Let me tell you something. Friday night after work, Allison was at Kroger picking up Us Weekly, Us Weekly, People magazine, Inside something. There was all these tabloid magazines, and I sat there with my Pinot Noir and
Pinot
getting lit and reading the gossip. And here's the thing, it was a very different time back then. And Brittany has been silenced for many years, and there have been a lot of people that have not minded that very much. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're the ones that are shaking in their boots, because a lot of shit went down and a lot of things were done. And a lot of stuff has gone on, and now it's going to come out. And, let's free Britney movement. I felt bad for Britney. Here's my thing. I want Brittany to be in a good headspace. I want her to be mentally protected and safe. I'm happy she's free. There are some things dancing around with butcher knives on TikTok that scare me a little bit. But if all you people who were screaming, free Britney, free Britney, free Britney, and now she's free and she's doing some little off-center stuff, you guys, and not all of you, but a majority of you, are the first ones to judge and throw shade at her. And, you can't support someone to be free, and then when they start not taking meds and not take, things start going off, you can't abandon them. And I'm not saying that she's, but there's some things going on. It's like she's a kid in a candy store, and now she can kind of do whatever she wants. And I am so proud of her for having this book. I think it's time. I think she served her time. As a mother, I see Brittany and I want to hug her and I want to tell her it's okay. And what can I do to make this better? What can I do to help you? I really I hope there are people, and I pray that there are people around her that will guide her in the right direction, not in a manipulative, controlling way, but be true, honest to God friends. and really help her.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's something that, from what I'm gathering, what I'm reading, is something that she's really used to. And it just makes me sad. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm reading it. And yeah, it's gonna I'm excited to get out of here and get into
Allison,
chapter
you are
2.
such an awesome person.
Am I? Oh no, I'm not.
No, I think that was just a really great, like, I don't know, culmination of, like, watching out for people's perspectives and the release of this book and showing kindness to Brittany and stuff like that. And I don't know.
Yeah, she's just.
I just love everything you just said. Like,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's like I had a really long conversation with Phelan Fairchild the other night, and we were talking about it, and it just really. I was one of those people 15, 16, 17 years ago that shit all over Brittany, and I personally feel terrible about it. And I wish but like I said, I'm not the same person I was back then. And she is not the same person either. None of us are the same person we were 18 years ago. God, I hope not.
Even biologically speaking, we are completely different people every 7 years. Every cell in our body is different, for the exception of women's eggs. Isn't that fun?
Did you know that men don't mature until they're 27?
That is really young from my experience.
Have you heard this?
I know some 60-some people who have not
physically mature.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, no, that's a whole lifetime. But no, it's. I do want to acknowledge that, like, I'm glad that we as a society are, like, a lot more, like, media trained nowadays too, because a lot of Brittany's treatment really stems from, at that time, media just, like, really openly attacking and degrading women. Like, think about, like, Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh, Lord, that woman.
Oh yeah,
Courtney Love, like
Courtney Love.
Like that.
Yep. But even, and then like the Anna Nicole Smith and the Courtney Loves were like the 90s, early 2000s people, and then it turned into like Britney, Lindsay Lohan, like all of these people. And I have said this. So there's somebody who we've invited on our show actually before, Pokemon 7. Well, actually, that's not his name anymore. I can't believe I said that. PM7, John, who had a video on one of his like small channels that's just like him talking while he plays like Fall Guys in the background, where he was talking about how hard it is to create content because he feels a pressure that he has to deliver to the sometimes million viewers that watch his YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
And how he's like, I'm really burnt out, but I feel like I can't stop, and but I also, like, then I have executive dysfunction. I don't do something, and then I do a whole bunch of things, and it turns almost like into manic work, and it takes the fun out of and the joy out of this work. And I kind of got thinking about what he was saying, and I reached out to him after I watched his video, and I said, just so you know, I don't think on a purely anthropological level, humans are supposed to be famous in any way. We might tell legends of people from the past or from other places, but we don't know every detail of their life, what they look like, where they live. They went and got a coffee at this particular shop. This is what their kids look like. This is where their kids go to school. Like we don't know about that when you go back to like primitive kind of human like behaviors, right? And then we expanded throughout civilization, and like we created cities because it was easy for trade and all that kind of stuff. But I also think, like, I can't tell you how many times I've thought to myself, living in a city is a lot of fun. Living in a city is mentally exhausting. Every time I leave my apartment, I'm exhausted when I get back because the stimuli, the people I like walk past and see, the news that is flashed all over the place. I'm addicted to my phone. I've got all these things. So for him, he's sitting there going, well, I'm just John from Boston. I have a fiance and there's a couple of my friends and such. Like, I'm not famous. I'm not Kim Kardashian. I'm like, 1 million people a week watch your videos.
Mm-hmm.
You are famous. 1 million people plus at least know who you are, what your face is, and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people. Imagine how that messes with your brain when you're someone like Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan. You're adding in the copious amounts of drugs and alcohol that they're given for free, and denied the actual therapy that they need until it gets to a point where they have to explode. And they implode, I mean, sorry. And it's heartbreaking that we had a society, and we continue actually to have a society that preys on this is newsworthy moments, somebody completely having a breakdown.
Yeah.
Have fun. Like, that's sick. So I do like that we're better about a lot of those things. I also think like we're better about like not immediately trying to assault celebrity parents once they have a baby, for example. Do you remember like when Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie had a baby, like they were like every outlet was like $500 million
Crazy.
for a picture of Shiloh or something like that.
I'm gonna kick it old school real quick.
Yeah, please.
Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger back in 1995, when their daughter Ireland was born, were chased by paparazzi to their home. He went out, confronted them, told them to leave, and got into an argument and a little bit of a scuffle. He got freaking arrested because the little pussy paparazzi called the cops on him. The man is bringing his child home from the hospital. This is the first time to bring his child home, and you shit on it. I'll kick it even older than Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee had a tons of sex tapes.
I was just gonna say, many.
In a safe on their private property. So what if the safe wasn't locked up somewhere? The safe itself was locked. Somebody stole it, got their sex tape. They made money off of it.
And the media spin on that, Allison,
it was terrible.
Pam, like, she's a slut for making those videos. Like,
it was
in that
he was like, they were
own.
like, dude, look at, he was able to do this with her. Isn't that so
Right.
cool?
Yeah.
This Playboy bunny, like, and
it was
you know,
okay for him, but not for her. And if you
Right.
watch any the Pamela Anderson documentary and what, that woman, listen, God bless her. When she was going through all the hearings, the legal stuff, she was, well, you posed in Playboy. Your legs were open in Playboy. So
great. That was consent.
why? Yeah, that was consent. Why are you upset about you did a sex? What is the dip? Times have changed,
thankfully,
since then, but it's just
slowly
so disgusting to me how, back in the day, things were just so, and it's just like, we didn't have the internet. And back in the early 2000s, the internet was new and all that, but you got your drama, your whatever from the tabloids
you were
and whatnot.
totally plugged in, yeah.
You
were still
didn't know the whole story. Lindsay Lohan, man, that was a whole other thing. But it's just sad. It's really sad. So, I'm glad that we're in a different. But yes, Weston, I am currently watching American Horror Story Delicate, if anyone out there is watching it. And I just want to say, Kim Kardashian can act. I am shocked. Also, Kim Kardashian's a good person. I like Kim Kardashian. I know that's hard to believe, but I like Kim Kardashian.
I'm more confused. I've only heard that Kim Kardashian is the worst thing that's ever happened to acting. You're the first person who said that she's good.
Hey, I'm just saying that
Allison loves Nicolas Cage's acting.
I sent a video today of Nicolas Cage just singing the word fuck for 4 seconds, and it was the greatest thing in the world. But Kim Kardashian does a great job in American Horror Story. Granted, I feel like she's probably playing her mother because she's a talent agent, abusive talent agent. So it's not much stretching. But I just think she's she's American. What? Okay.
Tyler and I.
Go ahead, jumper. I open the door. Go ahead.
Tyler,
You just said stretching.
You're like, that must have been a stretch for her, like that. And then both Tyler and I at the same time went,
yeah.
Like,
okay.
Exact thing with her stretch.
But if you think about it, Kim Kardashian is trying to get a law degree. She has freed women who have been in prison for ridiculous shit for long periods of time. She's doing good in the world. So I think she gets a bad rap because of sex videos and
I just think
other family members that suck ass.
well, I think that the there's a lot of issues with her. I just think anybody who's extremely wealthy and then like uses that and like uses the labor of other people but doesn't pay them like equally, like that's the kind of shit that I'm like, I'm never gonna be. I don't care if you're Kim Kardashian, a CEO of a company, whatever. I always think that like that's the stuff where I have issues with her. But other than that, I'm like, she's one of the better ones.
Yeah, like
Kylie's a piece of
one.
shit. Kendall's a piece of shit.
If I have to pick one, that's the one I'm gonna pick. And Scott Disick, where's he at? Does he have a show?
I don't know.
Okay.
I gave up with the Kardashians.
What
I
happened?
used to
keep up with the
love
Kardashians.
I used to love that show. And then when it
Same.
just was like when it became less of a reality show and more of them just like scripting their lives for the show, like when it was much more obvious, I guess, I was done.
I kind of like it lost me when, Kylie Jenner got abducted by aliens and they replaced her with this new chick with big lips and boobs and tried to pass it off as the original Kylie Jenner and saying things like my lips got big because I sucked on a shot glass.
And then how many people's lips and faces does she ruin for doing that? My God. She started a trend that is so dangerous for your lips.
I tried that. I tried the shot glass thing.
I'm sure.
Oh, God.
It was but just to bring it back full circle, Survivor. Who got evicted tonight?
Brando.
Brando, I got a problem.
Oh, boy.
Again with Jeff. Well, you're going to tribal council where a fifth person will get voted out. Jeff, stop it. Stop it. How many people have been voted out? I want an honest number right now. How many?
I was pissed off that he said Sean voted out at the last tribal council.
Nope.
And I was like,
no, he quit. Hannah quit.
He was much more of a quit. And Hannah was up. So this is why I loved that Dee like threw that vote right onto Sifu. First of all, that's another thing we should talk about is like the ripple effects of that.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, I also want to just quickly say, I thought Brando actually played that really well, throwing Drew under the bus to Emily. It's just too bad they didn't have power on their side, like in the form of advantages and such, to lure her in. Because I do think that if it weren't for the shiny pieces of toys and advantages that Austin and Drew had, I don't think Emily would have kept Drew around tonight. I think that Drew would have gone. But the way Brando did that was incredibly convincing. Oh, I'm going to say something to Drew. We're going to bond. Hey, that's great. Go up to Emily, because he knew it would not make any kind of game incentive sense for him to want to get rid of Kendra.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was.
I almost wonder if like things would have went differently if Austin didn't come back to the camp until like what if like he came back from the summit going right to tribal council, so he wasn't able to like cross like information and stuff like that. Like I was kind of bummed when they brought him back early, and I feel like that could have made for like a more like explosive and fun.
I do think that makes more sense for the twist moving forward. If you're going to do the Ship Wheel Island or whatever they call it now, twist, it should be that.
I mean, you have to assume that like whoever is coming back from that is going to get an advantage, right? So I think like another way to balance that out is to have them really not have a full picture of what happened at camp, especially with like how many advantages Austin had going into this tribal council. That would have been so fun if he like misplayed one or two of them because he didn't have like a full picture of what was going on,
or if he didn't pack all of the shit for tribal to go and he had it back at camp.
Yeah, right.
How about Katura looking for an idol, and as soon as she sees her, just drops the stick? Oh, hey!
Katura's edit is so weird. Like
It's so weird.
I like her edit is such like an enigma in like Survivor like edgic of it all.
Every other week is a different story. Like the first week we were like, oh, winner's edit.
Yeah, right.
The next
so
week we
weird.
were like, okay, 5th place edit. And then it was like, okay, 3rd place edit. She's good. She's going to the final. And now it's just been like, I think she merge boot? Like what's happened? Not merge boot.
She's
but
too clean. I said it in the chat tonight. I'm telling y'all, think I'm crazy. She's too damn clean. God dang, I just spat everywhere. I got real emotional.
Guess who's not clean anymore?
Yeah, and my lips are not clean. So next week's merge, and I think Katura could be the first one. I don't know, but she looked really clean tonight, and it really got on my nerves because I was convinced she was going, and then her team won fucking immunity. Excuse my French, Jesus. And I went, well, shit, there goes that. But I really,
I think they're really trying to build up like Katura versus Bruce as the merge boot, and
Why not?
Bruce. I think Bruce will win that battle, unfortunately.
I see that, but I
think it's going to come down to Caleb.
I agree with that, but I also I really think this is a season of women.
Yes,
and I think
and quitters.
I've watched this show before, and quitters. Yes, I've watched this show before, and it's always like the woman who has the issue with the man, and then the man gets her out. I think this is the season to break that. I'm gonna have faith in that.
Joseph Boza. I just spit everywhere again. I'm sorry, but does Jake have to be on a deathbed before he's DQ'd 2 episodes in and 3 episodes stretch? He fainted, fallen, had a seizure. Right? Right?
I am shocked that they didn't show like medical coming to him, because I would hope that if I do think like the second time having Kelly there as a nurse or whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. The first time where he almost also was like in the fire and like no one came to check, was like, okay.
Oh, did we not talk about that last week, Tyler?
Yeah, they were like, he's fine, probably.
I said last week, and I'll say it again this week after he fainted. I would beg to leave. I would be trying to quit, and people would not let me. I will be passing out, fainting, falling over, and everybody's going to keep my ass around so they can drag me to the final 2 or 3 to beat my ass.
And you know what? There's no better definition of a survivor in that situation than Allison S. Kelly. I'm saying that's how she wins.
If I were a producer, I would like pull up my phone and check my tweet that I posted the draft. I'd be like, is he on my draft team? Nah, he's probably fine.
I'm like Yoda.
If I were a producer, I would I would be running like a gambling ring of like drafting and like winner picks, like a money pot for like whoever like wins the season. That would be so fun to like be like watching like play out live. I would totally never mind.
I would love it to see these people begging to leave, And I feel like I would be just strapped. I'd be like Yoda strapped to Chewbacca, just being completely, or not. No, C-3PO. No, I'm going to nerd out. C-3PO in pieces in Empire Strikes Back when he gets blown up and he's strapped to the back of Chewbacca and he carries him around before he gets put back together. I could see myself in pieces being strapped to Tyler's back and him constantly telling me to shut up.
I thought you were about to say like a squat or a deadlift or something. I thought this is like a red light reference.
Tyler, I don't want to be strapped to you in sexy red light while you deadlift. I cannot think of a more
sexy,
uncomfortable situation for everyone involved.
Wait, do you not know about the red light, Tyler?
Like the red light district?
Like, yeah, like you know how like what?
I've been to the red light district.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was just gonna say,
so cool. Like I
want to go. I want to check it out. I think it sounds cool.
Tyler's gonna deadlift me in the red light, and I'm gonna fart, and he's gonna drop me, and I'm gonna die.
So hot.
So hot. Always, this is how I wanted to go.
All right, let's update our draft. So here's the patrons and podcasters draft. So podcasters lost Brando. It's crazy that like the first 3 picks off the board are.
Isn't that so incredible?
Wow.
Well, can we talk about? I don't even want to. Who was the first one? Brandon. He got voted out.
No, the first quit was Hannah. And then Brandon, and then Sabaya, and then Sean, and now Brando. Sean quit, and then
Brandon quit.
Sabaya?
Brandon did not quit. He was voted out. Hannah was the first quit.
Okay.
And then Brandon was voted out. Then Sabaya was voted
It
out.
was a mercy
Sean
killing.
quit. Yeah, that was a mercy vote. And then Brando was voted out today.
This just kills me.
Yeah, and then here is our draft. Sorry, that was funny. So Scally still has the whole yellow team there, but that's changing next week. Listen, I'm down to one person here, but
Tyler, I told you could have seafood. I told you could trade him for whoever that dude is that quit.
I'm good.
I'm pretty sure you have like the winner of the season, so I wouldn't even worry. Tyler.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Dee has like a really strong winners edit, and she was on the wrong side of the vote last week, and they really painted her as like the strategist and like, I don't know, like recovering very well from that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and we also got her like personal backstory tonight too. Like, I don't know, I'm Dee as a winner would be very cool to see.
I felt like
I'm all about it.
I have just truly been feeling like Jake, Dee, and Kendra are like have such good edits. Katura has like a interesting edit. I could see someone like Drew go like to the merge and then kind of fizzle out. I really think Kelly's going to be mid-season, but there's like I could see Austin going to the finale. There's some really interesting characters there, but there's just something about like we check in with Jake a lot, and he's been on tribes that like he's not really the important character there.
Oh my God! Wait, what if Jake falling in the fire is a metaphor for him losing fire at Final Four?
No, Jake, no! Don't fall in the
Jake
fire.
is going to faint into the fire.
No. Oh no, that's like the exact opposite of what you want to do. This one's not fire making; it's fire. Just sit there and then don't faint into it.
I'm like,
never mind. I'm not going.
No, go ahead, say it.
I was gonna say, what would Jeff do in that situation?
Medical? Medical? He ain't going over there to help.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like maybe the final 3 is like Dee, Kendra, and Emily.
Dee, Kendra,
I'm gonna
Emily.
laugh.
I could see Emily go far
if I have 2 people in the final 3 and I only picked one.
And they're Kendra and Emily.
Yeah,
that's iconic. Like for real.
I think J Maya is gonna go before the jury starts. I think Julie will go early jury, and I think Austin will go mid jury or make it to the finale and get like 5th or fired out or something like that.
I think Sifu is like not long for this game either.
I imagine Sifu, J Maya, and Drew are not really.
Yes,
Jake's really digging deep into that fire.
Jake's really digging deep into that fire.
Oh yeah. And then I also
trying to do it in the Boston accent. Wasn't that
good? So since I won't be here for Big Brother tonight, I have updated the draft, assuming that Blue is the one leaving. So this is our setup going into.
I like it. Did you make a backup just in case America goes?
Where's the backup?
I think it's pretty sure. I think it's pretty certain that.
Yeah,
Blue's gonna go.
I'm hoping so because I don't want to go from being the last person to lose anybody on my team to be the first one out. That'd be so sad.
But it's cool that like heading into the final 6, like each of us have like a draft member left. So this double eviction is going to be.
Next week will be this week. I forgot it's double eviction.
Yeah. So by the end of tomorrow, like one of our teams will get the axe. So I wanted to hear from you guys just some quick like predictions. Like
when is it over?
15 days.
I know.
This went from fun
Talk about a
because here
mercy
we
kill.
are again. We're so pumped, and this is a great. We're gonna this season's so great. Oh my God, Sarif, blah 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 blah. And now we're like, when is this over?
I
It's
think
been a good season. It's just
Yeah.
like the pace is just so
they took the wind
fucking
out of the
slow.
sails of the season.
Multiple times.
It's
And
so
you know what? Just
boring.
adjust. Like, stop trying to make 100 days happen. Okay, it doesn't need to happen.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just getting vibes that Bowie wins the double eviction HOH.
Girl,
I'm not even
I am
joking.
too.
I
am
really
too,
think that she's
Beth.
gonna win.
Me too.
That would be a mess. Like trying to like
know.
sway her like
And I'm
live.
fairly certain.
I like this.
I'm fairly certain that she will probably put
God.
up a foolish answering.
This bitch can't make a decision in a day. You want her to make a decision in 2 minutes?
This is the best part. I think that she'll put those two up because I think that her default will be, well, I think Matt and Jag have me more than those two do, even though that's probably the worst thing that she could do. I think then if one of them come down, best case scenario would be America wins veto and then she has to put up one of the boys. But I really think that what will happen is that she'll end up just putting up like Matt and Suri or something. It's like oh, it comes down to you anyway as a vote, so figure it out.
No, God.
Yeah,
God.
it's gonna be terrible. Like I don't even know what I so what is the
But if Jag does go in the double eviction, I know it's like not likely. Like I'm sure he's gonna win fucking veto. But like if he were, like let's just play exciting fan fiction for a moment. Like that would like really open the end game a lot here if Jag is to go. Because like Matt has not done great in physical competitions. Like I feel like it would kind of open it up for like Bowie or America to win something. Felicia has also like won more comps than America or Suri, so like that's.
I mean, she won a crapshoot one, so.
But you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to diminish that. I'm just saying that like, anybody can win a crapshoot one. I'm not saying that like, oh.
Dude, look, can I just say, look, Jag has won more shit than any of these people combined. Felicia has won more than Bowie, than America, and Suri. Matt, this is the weirdest bunch I've ever seen. Hasn't won shit. I mean, everybody's won at least one thing. I think. What has America won?
Not America or
Nothing.
Suri.
Okay, not shit. Suri?
Nothing.
Nope,
Not
nothing.
shit. Matt, vetoes.
He
Yeah.
won
Bowie, HOH, Felicia, HOH, Jag.
and the comp that
didn't
he
just win
saved
those.
Jag with.
Yeah, that. So
And,
I mean,
and Bowie's had an HOH.
Oh.
That was not me.
that was also not me, even though I made a noise
totally
after that.
Joseph.
Jojo.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Like selfishly, like even though that means that my draft team will be the first one axed, like honestly, my draft team has had that coming the entire season. And honestly, it would
a
make
lot longer than we thought. So
yeah, talk about a mercy kill. Like that would be a mercy kill here, because like and like I just want a good like end game stretch, right? Like, and I feel like with Jag gone, like that just makes it so much more exciting. And also Jag as somebody in power constantly, he is so boring. He is so boring and so bad at Big Brother. So like I'm over it. I'm done. Send the already like evicted house guest home and let's have a fun end game with Sari, Felicia, America, Matt, and Bowie Jane. Like I think that's an exciting setup.
Yeah.
I want to see the jury house. I want to see Cameron's face when Corey walks in.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see that soon. I know
we're gonna have to. We'll see it next week. We won't.
Yeah,
see
I'm gonna see it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you're a patron on the patron page for My Weekly Meltdown, I do a live watch of the show that airs from
on Thursdays.
On Thursdays from 8 Central till 9 Central. I don't know where I'm going. I'm so fucking tired.
So if you're a patron and you want to join,
yeah, you can join if you want. It's me. Jackie will be there sometimes. Dominic, he shows up. Melissa's been there. We've had some people show up. It's a double. So patrons, come on. It's good set. Look, I share my screen. It's good picture quality. It's good sound quality. We watch together. Nobody really talks during the show. I might throw some smart ass comments in. We chit chat during the commercial, and it's fun. So, whatever.
So if you want to become a patron and support the show and have cool opportunities like watching the double eviction live with Allison and getting some sassy comments along the way, which we'd love, feel free to go to patreon.com/myweeklymeltdown to become a patron today.
Look, you can sign up for $5 and do it for 2 weeks and then quit.
It's true.
I mean, seriously, I do it all the time.
Wait, what time is Big Brother on tomorrow?
Big Brother is on at 8, 9.
9. Okay.
East.
So I'll be getting out of the wedding like as soon as you guys are starting the show. So I will probably I'll probably spoil it for myself, but I won't be able to watch the episode, but I'll be watching you guys on my Uber home from the wedding. So I can't wait to see what you guys
I can't wait for us to get on there and be like, well, nothing really happened. So have a good night, guys.
Dude,
it's
going to be a 10-minute show, and then we're going to talk about what else I've learned in the Britney Spears book.
If I'm going to put this out there, if tomorrow's fucking double eviction HOH is, let's see if you can match what needs to be hatched over here.
Yeah.
Or the veto is anything like, and then run to the other side and hit a button. I'm going to be like, what the fuck?
What are these competitions, dude? There's nothing to it.
And then next week for the HOH, don't forget, you're going to have to memorize something over here and then recreate the pattern over there. Run back and forth, everybody. We're like, this is literally the same fucking kind of competitions over and over.
Listen, this is what they're going to do. Since it's going old school, they're going to go way back to Big Brother 2 for the final HOH competition. They're going to be in a small, above ground, 5 foot deep pool with their hands all on in a kiddie pool with their hands all on this thing together, one hand each. And they're going to have one of those big fans you see in Home Depot blowing on them. And, throwing feathers on them and shit in the water and doing God knows what else. And the last person with their hand on the freaking cup or button or whatever wins HOH.
So it's like pressure cooker with a lot more pressure.
Yeah, but at least you can pee in the pool.
True. I would honestly use that as a strategy.
I would totally piss in that pool. I'd be like, I gotta go, and I'm going. And I cannot deny or confirm if it's 1 or 2. We'll find out. It's one way to get people to let go. Take an aqua dump.
All right, that's it. I don't want that visual in my life.
Be a part of the Survivor media that goes to that, but her
live interviewing people
is just called Aqua Dump, and it's all about
how many aqua dumps. What is it like?
You're like, everyone else is like, so what is your strategy going to be going into this game? And you're going to be like, what is your strategy for shitting on the island?
Do you have a spot picked out? Have you talked to since it's the same island, have you talked to former survivors? The perfect place to shit?
Yeah. Have you gotten the intel as
what are they wiping with?
Yeah, come on. Have you, are you a whole person or an ocean person?
A whole person? Oh, you mean like dig a hole?
I was thinking that too, Allison. I was like, what kind of hole are we talking about here?
I'm more of a get a hole
person.
Poop in the hole.
I'm a whole ass person.
I'm gonna poop in the hole and then I'm gonna jump in the water and clean my butthole.
See, I said this shit on my this is my weekly meltdown on the B&B last week with Mike Bloom and Liana. I literally was like, if anybody ever caught me digging it around a tree and they were like, "Oh, she must be looking for the idol," I'm literally, because I know I'd be sweating anyway, I'm just literally gonna be like, "I'm gonna shit." Like that.
Yeah, I'd be like, really?
And they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay." I thought
Allison would be looking for like a rooftop gym bathroom.
Listen, I'd be like, you guys really think that I was digging and found an idol? Why don't you go see what I buried?
Yeah.
Why don't
It's
you
an idol.
pull that out at Tribal and give it to Jeff?
You would write in the
might wanna
sand,
wait
idol
for-
here.
I think give it another 12 hours and then go grab her.
Yeah.
I would love for Allison to like write in the sand like idol here with like an arrow pointing to like the spot where she so they can get up there.
I'm poking it with a stick. What are you doing? I'm checking my idol. I want it to be nice and hard
Maybe
for when
this
I
needs
take
to
it.
like maybe
Council.
this needs to be melted in the fire.
You know what?
There's an actual idol in my big turd.
Can you imagine the people, like people sometimes put that shit not in their bags but in their clothes, and someone pulls it out of the waistband of their pants, and then you'd be like, that also came out of my pants.
Oh my God. Or you could just like get up and squat and let it fall out of your pants like you're shitting an idol out. Here you go, Jeff.
Oh my God.
This is the
Come
new LOS.
get this.
Oh God.
All right, well, everybody, we'll see these two lovely ladies back here tomorrow. We love you all. Goodbye.